An entire generation died in the wilderness, not because the promise failed, but because they would not believe. Now their children stand at the edge of the same land. The Jordan flows before them. Behind them lie 40 years of graves. This time, the choice cannot be postponed. Moses is 120 years old. He will not cross the river. Before he dies, he speaks, not casually, not briefly, but urgently. He gathers Israel on the plains of Moab, within sight of the land their fathers refused. And he begins with the truth. You would not go up, he says of their parents. You rebelled. You believed not the Lord your God. He does not hide their history, because memory is the foundation of redemption. He recounts Horeb, the mountain wrapped in fire, the voice that shook the earth, the fear that led them to beg for a mediator. He reminds them how quickly courage turned into complaint, how spies returned with fruit in their hands and fear in their hearts, how unbelief turned 40 days into 40 years. He reminds them of wandering, of graves, of delay. But he also reminds them of mercy, how God carried them as a man carries his son, how their clothing did not wear out, how manna fell from heaven every morning, without fail, how kings stronger than they were fell before them in the wilderness. You lacked nothing. Even in discipline, you were sustained. Now, he says, you stand again at the threshold. Then Moses repeats the law, not as cold repetition, but as covenant renewal. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. There are no rivals, no divided allegiance. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Love, not mere ritual, not mere fear. Love. He commands them to teach these words to their children, to speak of them when sitting, when walking, when lying down, when rising up. The covenant must saturate life. He warns them of prosperity. When thou shalt eat and be full, when thou shalt build goodly houses, when thy silver and thy gold is multiplied. Take heed, lest your heart be lifted up, lest you forget the Lord. The wilderness tested their endurance. The land will test their gratitude. He warns them of idolatry. The nations ahead are strong. Their worship is visible, attractive, persistent. You shall break down their altars, because compromise will erode faith faster than opposition. Then he lays the covenant plainly before them. Blessings. If you obey, rain in its season, peace in your borders, enemies scattered, fruitful fields, curses. If you turn away, heavens like brass, earth like iron, defeat, exile, scattering among nations. There is no ambiguity. Life or death, blessing or curse. And then, Moses speaks the words that echo through history. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Choose life, because the promise still stands. Choose life, because your fathers did not. Choose life, because mercy has brought you here again. He tells them the commandment is not unreachable. It is not in heaven that someone must ascend to bring it down. It is not beyond the sea that someone must cross to fetch it. The word is near, in thy mouth, in thy heart. The choice is not distant, it is immediate. He strengthens Joshua before them all. Be strong and of a good courage. Leadership passes. The mission remains. Moses writes the law. He gives it to the priests. He teaches Israel a song, a witness against future forgetfulness, because he knows the human heart. He knows prosperity can dull memory. He knows fear can silence faith. Then he climbs Mount Nebo, alone. God shows him the land, north and south, east and west. The full inheritance promised centuries before. Moses sees it. But he will not enter. He dies there, the servant of the Lord, not in failure, not in abandonment, but in fulfillment. Israel mourns 30 days, then mourning ends. Joshua stands ready. The ark waits. The river still flows. Deuteronomy is not repetition. It is mercy spoken after rebellion. It is covenant renewed for a generation that did not see Egypt. It is a second chance written in law and love. The wilderness did not cancel the promise. Unbelief did not erase the covenant. Life and death stand side by side, and the voice still calls across the plains of Moab. Choose life. The river is before them. The future is unwritten. The promise remains, and this time, they will cross.